So we have a very special guest coming on right now, and I'm going to turn it over to Ed Billick, who is an Executive Vice President for U.S. Shareholder Relations for BBVA. You'll notice that BBVA was on all those buses, so please give him a warm round of applause for that.
Thank you. No, I'm just going to talk here. Well, thanks for coming out today. Are you guys excited? Are you happy to be here? I'm going to be honest with you. We had Bruce speak at one of our management team meetings in San Antonio, and he asked us how we were doing, and he sounded kind of a little bit soft like you guys did. So he really ripped into a few of our people for not talking. So I would suggest if I ask you how you're doing, you tell me a little bit louder. So how are you doing? I think that's a little better. Now, you should have all gotten bow ties. If you'll notice, we got you blue bow ties because BBVA is blue. And you'll notice Bruce is probably one of the best dressed former NBA players in the league. And you'll see he has a bow tie on. That's why you have the bow ties. So I'm supposed to talk a little bit about BBVA. I'm not going to do that because I want to get Bruce up here so you can ask him questions. So for those of you who don't know Bruce, he's a former NBA legend. He played with the San Antonio Spurs, 3-time NBA champ. He was named first team all-defense 5 times in a row. If you think about how you win championships with defense. You know, this is the guy who guarded Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dirk Nowitzki. You know, when Popovich had to put someone on a player to stop them, this is the guy he did it. This is the go-to guy. So while Tim and Tony Parker get all the, the hype from the media, here's the guy who did all the dirty work. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Bruce Bowen.
Well, good morning, everyone. Is it still morning? Okay, so I did that. That was a little joke. He said I rip into people. I do, because I think you guys are here, and you all are here for a reason. You're here to receive something. So I need you guys ready to receive something. So everybody up, stand up. Now, when I say good morning, I want to hear the good morning coming back to me. So, good morning.
Good morning.
So much better. I want you guys to reach to the left and reach to the right. Stretch out a little bit. Know you've been sitting down quite a bit here. So I want you guys ready to receive. Are you ready to receive today? All right, everybody have a sit down. Everyone have a sit down. Are we okay on my mic? We okay? You guys hear me well enough? All right, so my name, again, is Bruce Bowen, and I rock this beautiful bow tie. I think that it is a little different because I view life differently. Just as each and every one of you are going to go through different things in life, you're going to see that some things don't pan out for you as, say, some of your compadres or some of your other students or some of your coworkers. There are things that we need to prepare for in life that unfortunately just isn't taught to us in school. So, we know that we've heard that you go to school, you get good grades. You get good grades, you go to a good school. After that, you'll get a great job and make a lot of money, right? Yeah. Now, wait, are you guys in this for that, or what are you in this for? Isn't it for a great living? You want to provide a different lifestyle than maybe what you had or what your parents had? You do want that, don't you? Well, I need a little passion from you. Maybe that's the reason why that some of you guys got B's instead of A's on some of your tests. You weren't passionate enough. All right? So those are some of the things that we're taught. We're taught that from this age, whatever this age is for you. That was a joke. You guys can laugh. So what happens when you graduate, top of your class, and you go to that company and you're saying, hey, here's my resume, straight A's. I did this, I did that, and I did all these wonderful things. I helped the needy, I gave back to my community, and now I'm here to help your brand. And they say, just put your resume over there and we'll get back to you. And you never hear back from them. They're one of the top companies, and you haven't heard back from them. What do you do then? That's not what we were taught. We were taught that if we did things the right way, everything will kind of work itself out. Well, I went through certain struggles in life where I had to learn at an early age that reality is so much different than what we plan for in life. And so how do we handle those things? How do we stay strong in the midst of adversity? That's where I learned all the things that were so necessary for me to be where I am today. And so that's more or less not plan A and B, but plans P through Z, where we never have that. Well, okay, I have a backup plan. If I don't get the job, I'll move in with my buddy. You still haven't gotten the job. Now you got to move back home. You don't want to be at home. So that creates what? Motivation for you to get out of the house because you don't want to be there with mom or dad because mom and dad treats you like they did before you left. Oh, I guess that didn't happen. That's none of you all. I apologize. I'm talking to the wrong group. Wow, you guys got it under control. So for me, I knew my realities were different in life. Now, I'm not going to go into a big drama-filled speech to you all about my situation, but my mom wasn't around. She was a drug addict. My father wasn't around. He was an alcoholic and a drug addict. So, I mean, you combine alcohol and drugs, that's really deep. But so much was set up for me to make excuses. I could easily say, well, you know, I couldn't do it because I couldn't get a ride here on time. No. Reality says, how can you get there even if you have to catch the bus? Even if the bus isn't cool, you're going to be there because you know that that's important. And so I got a scholarship because I knew I was going to need a scholarship in order to go to college, period. It had a lot to do with sports for me. I'm sure we have some athletes in here. Do we have any athletes in here? Oh, wow, that's pitiful. Everyone has some athleticism in them. It's just a matter of recognizing it. Maybe that's why you don't get picked at the games, because you don't recognize that you're an athlete. So I knew that was my avenue. So I had a plan. I'm going to work as hard as I can to get a scholarship because I don't have the foundation of those that are going to make sure I get to college. And so, even though I know that you still need to make money and things like that in high school to buy clothes, and that was a terrible time for me because I didn't have any what you guys call a little swag. I didn't have any swag when I was in high school. See, when I was in high school, I used to go to the swap meet and get my stuff. Now, the swap meet wasn't a bad place to get clothes. It was a great place to get clothes because you can get a lot of clothes for less money. So there was a time where they had these dancing raisins, sun-made raisins. They used to dance, and, I heard it through the grapevine. Yeah, some of you guys get that. Some of you guys do understand that grapes are raisins, just a little older. Okay. And we can also say that grape juice is, wow. I don't know. I thought, okay, all right, I got to go to plan C now. Okay, I got that kind of group. So, I remember buying five T-shirts for $2, and the best part about that is that you have to learn real quick. Don't put that stuff in hot water. Now that extra large looks like a medium on me. So, those are the things that I went through. But it didn't matter because, I think you learn a certain sense of responsibility, a certain sense of confidence when you're able to do these things for yourself. Even though it may not be fashionably on point, you can start your own fashion. See, I was wearing high waters before they became popular. It's just nobody else knew. It's all about how we look at things. And so I go on to college. I have a great career. I say great career because I got my degree. That's all that matters to me. I had a great career in college because I got my degree. Now, it took me some time, but I got that degree. So it came draft night, 1992-93, and that's the same draft of Penny Hardaway, Chris Webber, and some other guys. Now, mind you, I didn't have an agent yet, and I still thought I was going to get picked. Now, there's a process when it comes to getting drafted. You do have an agent, and you see some of those guys that are in the green room waiting to have their name called. I didn't have that, but I still had what? Optimism. I'm like, somehow somebody gonna know. Y'all don't know about Bruce Bowen. Y'all getting ready to know. Yeah, the world didn't know about Bruce that night or the next night or maybe for another 2 years. But that didn't stop me from my goal of getting to the NBA. Now, that was my goal, and sometimes we have setbacks, as I talked about before. I talked about the setbacks of, going into that job interview and having someone tell you nay when you've never heard that before because you've been so exceptional at what you've done. So for me, I went to an NBA tryout, and I got cut. And I said, oh, okay, so what? I didn't get a great opportunity there, so I'm going to continue to work. My opportunity came going to France. Now, France was not in my mind at all as far as life after basketball, or I should say life after college. France was not in my game plan at all. But it happened. And I think that was one of those things as far as what life presents you. I didn't prepare for that. And it's a lot of times, it's not what we prepare for that we get a chance to utilize all the skills that we've learned. It's the other things. It's, as our speaker said, it's knowing Spanish and going to Brazil. Some of you all don't realize that there's Portuguese spoken in Brazil, huh? It's not, oh, you guys are terrible. Come on, people. And how many of you are in college right now? Raise your hand high if you're in college. Because I know if you guys get on social media and dance sometimes, y'all let it be known where y'all from. Throwing me off my game right now because I need participation. I need you guys to be involved because that's what life is about. It's not about who's the best at this or who's the best at that. It's about your involvement. It's about your passion. And no one can measure your passion for whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And so as I went to France, not knowing the language, realizing that, not a lot of people speak English here in France. And not that, okay, maybe if I go to Paris, Paris is a lot of people go to Paris. A lot of Americans go there. And you think that, okay, well, I think maybe 50% of everyone will be able to understand me because I speak English and they'll be able to speak English as well. Yeah, that is the case in Paris. But I went to Le Havre, Normandy, and they didn't speak any English there. So now again, I'm thrown off a little bit. I have to really dig down and start the process of learning a language that I don't know, and it's on the fly. It's on the fly. I don't know how long I'm going to be there. And so I remember my first day, with my little book, learning, bonjour. Okay, I got that. Okay, oh, what about how's your day going? Comment ça va? Oh, okay, I got that as well. Okay, I see some of the foods, certain things that you want to look at to learn how to order something. So I go into this boulangerie. Oh, thank you. And as I go to order something, of course I have an American accent. I don't understand. I don't really know how to necessarily formulate the right word. My accent isn't very good. And I said, je voudrais un sandwich con jamón, fromage, et ouf. Now, in my mind, I'm saying I want a sandwich with ham, cheese, and egg. Feeling good about myself. And he says, c'est quoi ça? Panic set in real quick. I got a group of folks behind me, and I hear, donc, yo no sé, and I'm like, this one right here. And so that was a moment that I was a little nervous. I was scared because we all want to be right, and we're stepping out, showing the world that I know not anything of what I think I know. And that's okay as long as you continue to step forward and not be afraid of failure. That's what I want you all to take from this speech here is how important it is that we learn from those situations. how important it is for us to make sure that we're not stymied because we're a little timid or we're a little fearful in something. So I gradually learned the language pretty well. And so I did well in the league. I got an opportunity to try out with the Miami Heat. Pat Riley, a guy that I've watched for many years when he was winning championships. I take it we have some Laker fans here. Oh, yeah, see, some of you guys only know him with the Heat. Yeah, you Lakers, Knicks, then Heat. But he's someone that I looked up to, and I got a chance to try out for them. I was supposed to try out for Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Milwaukee Bucks. And so he knew that I had to go to other camps after this. And so he says, Bruce, your best opportunity is right here with the Heat. Now I'm getting that from the head coach? He's telling me this? Shoot, all that work I put in? It's working, baby. Yeah, now I got a little swag to my walk. When I talk, I had a partner there. He was trying out as well. He said, Bruce, they like you. They going to pay you some money. I was like, let me tell you what Coach Rouse just said. Coach Rouse said they want me here. And, I stayed. I didn't go to those other other teams. And what I did at that point was I cut off all my other options. See, some of y'all, you guys are, wait till I finish the story. And so these are learning situations for me, and sometimes we lead with our heart, and when something happens, we're devastated. And so, I've stayed in Miami for another 3 weeks until training camp begins. So training camp comes, and I'm one of the best there as far as I'm concerned. That's what I think, because I think you should think the world of yourself, no matter what it is. Whether if you work at Kentucky Fried Chicken like I did, or McDonald's, see, somebody chuckled back there because now it's known as KFC. See, there used to be a time where they called it chicken. So we wonder why these sixth graders are able to dunk in the sixth grade because they're eating all this steroid and I'm sorry, I'm getting off track right now. Getting off track. So, I'm doing well because I think that's important. And cut time comes the third day of camp. And I get a phone call from the trainer. He says, Bruce, bring your playbook. And I'm like, okay, la, 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 la. And he says, hey, we got your flight reservations. You're leaving at this time, this, and that. And I'm like, uh-huh. Oh, I've been cut? Oh, yes, Bruce, we thought you knew. I've been cut? What am I going to do now? I can't go to Orlando now. I can't go to Milwaukee. I can't go to Cleveland. I've been cut? Reality. It just in the face. So what do you do with that? Now, there are some deals there. Now, since I decided to try out for the NBA, I missed my time to go back to France. So now I can't go back to that country. The only option now is the CBA, which is considered a D League now. So I go through the whole process of, man, what's going on here? I go to the CBA, I play okay, and I'm basically hanging on, but I'm also getting recognized as well. I'm getting recognized, and so much recognition that I get another tryout with the Miami Heat. This time I'm going in, I know what to do now, and I go and I do it, and they're hemming and hawing a little bit now. Well, Bruce, you really need to grow your hair out a little bit. And another joke, you guys, you see, I'm follically challenged, and you guys don't even laugh at that. I'm telling you, I'm giving y'all some of my best stuff, and you guys are just sitting back. Maybe you need a couple of coffees in you to receive all this stuff, because I know it's quick. It's quick like a cat. And so I felt like they were just coming up with different excuses. And that's what you're going to face in life. You're going to have opportunities where you're going in front of a boss or a CEO and you're giving them everything they need in order to make a business flourish. And they will not accept anything that you're saying just because it's life. And I don't want you guys to get upset at that, but I want you to think about what you can do in spite of that, because it's important. It's important how you handle those situations, because I believe the greatest teachers in life are those moments where we expected something and we received nothing. For as Shakespeare said, expectations are the roadway to heartache. And when you start thinking about that a little bit, you'll start to see how true that is when you start the expectations in life. And so as I went through these different things, I said, okay, now Miami this time, I'm not going to be the only team that knows about me. They're not going to be the only team. I'm going to go out and I'm going to try out for other teams, and I'm going to play better so that people can see me. And that's basically what started to happen. Other teams started to take notice. And so once other teams started to take notice, Miami, they swooped me up real quick. And now I've gotten my foot in the door of the NBA. 2 years after that draft. 2 years. Not a month, not 6 months, 2 years. And so during that 2 years, there were so many things that I was going through as far as what do I do? Do I sit back and I say, oh man, why does he get picked? That's the worst thing you can ever do, is start putting your thoughts and your concerns about what others are doing instead of honing in on what's right here. And so my last name is Bowen, as you all know. I wear a bow tie. Do you guys see a little similarities in the bow and the tie? You guys get it? Well, that has nothing to do with it. I love when I get y'all up like that and then like, wham. So, I came up, it happened on, thinking about so many things that I've gone through. I came up with an acronym for the 3 letters BOW, and that's Being Optimistic Wins. Can you all repeat that? Being optimistic wins. Oh, man, y'all sad. Now I need y'all to stand up again. Stand up! Come on, people! I need you guys to say it with feeling. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Being optimistic wins. Sit down. That was lovely. That was lovely. Now, that's what I want you all to think about when it comes time where you're trying to go somewhere else, to the next level in life. When that door is closed in your face, when you're not able to accomplish the goals that you once thought that you wanted, and you have to go back and do different things. This is a perfect time for you to say, being optimistic wins, is when I'm going through trials and tribulations of life, because they're going to happen. And this is something that I feel like no one is necessarily teaching people, that when you go into something or some direction in life, no one tells you that you're not going to make it. And what are you going to do? Everyone is all behind you. We're going to have a parade. Let's go. Yes, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. And you get that door closed in your face. You turn around at those people, and they're looking like, guess you didn't make it. And that's the moment I want you to say, what can I do to make it? What can I do to make it? Because that's where that optimism comes into play. That's where it's so necessary. Because everyone, every great man, every great person, every great leader that you've learned about, they've had to deal with failure. And I think that's the best thing that we can have in life, because it's only through our failures that we learn what we truly are made of. It's only through our failures that we learn that, you know what, I can go the extra mile. And you know what? If it doesn't happen this time, it's going to happen another time. And so as you finally accomplish that goal of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, then you say, wow, I got through it. And that is a building block. So that when you go up for another promotion or another job, you already understand that, hey, if I don't make it, it's just helping me to become a better person. But no one ever talks about how important that moment of adversity is for you. It's through those moments of adversity that you learn to become a better teammate. You learn to become a better follower, because you're paying attention to detail in the leaders that you're dealing with. It's in that moment that you learn to become a better, on your way, leader, because you're watching someone that's doing it the right way, and you see different ways of communicating with people that you can possibly utilize to help enhance your ability. It's only through those moments. Pat Riley taught me so much about this game of basketball from the standpoint of my mindset. Pat Riley had this thing where he read some of these different books and these great leaders, and his thing was no fraternizing with the enemy. That meant if a guy that I knew that I played with before, if I fouled him or something, and I go to reach to give him a hand up, Pat was like, don't you do that. I remember some guys fouling someone, be like, man, I can't. But that's how he thought. So now when I see this whole thing of LeBron James right now, he goes to Miami to work out with Dwayne Wade. What is your teammates thinking of that? You know, here it is. We talk about, it's always so funny to me. You know, we going to battle. No, we're not going to battle. We're playing a game. We have people that are fighting for our freedom in our armed forces that are doing that. And so if we're supposed to be together and you go somewhere else to work out with one of your former teammates, it doesn't give me that sense of, hey, he's all in with us. But that's what happens. And so Pat Riley, that's the kind of person he was. And so I've learned different things from him. I've learned great things from Greg Popovich in the process of being optimistic wins. Here it is. I could have gotten so discouraged in my beginning of my career. Here it is. I get to Miami and I play for the rest of the year. The next thing you know, I'm in Boston the next 2 years. Here it is. I thought I would always be in Miami because that's the first team that I've tried out for. That's the first team that I got cut by. All these wonderful things. I love the city of Miami and all the people that are there. But all of a sudden, the next 2 years, I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, where it's cold. I'm a California kid. I'm not used to that cold weather. So I was well in Miami. But even after Boston, here it is, I deal with Rick Pitino and his philosophy on different things, and I end up getting waived by him. So here it is, I've been cut, I've been waived. Then I go to Philadelphia under Larry Brown and love Larry Brown to death because he allowed me to love the game. He allowed me to love the game. Even though I wasn't one of his star players, he made me feel like that. And a lot of that had to do with my hard work. He saw that. He also saw I wasn't as talented as, say, Allen Iverson, but he continued to praise me in those situations. So even if you're not in the same level of others, you can still work your best, and people will respect you for that because you're confident in what you do, and it's necessary. So I ended up getting traded by Coach Brown, and I end up back in Miami. And I'm like, goodness, Lord, what you trying to tell me here? You know, I've been, P. Diddy used to have a song, been around the world and yeah. Oh, again, I forget that crowd. I'm sorry. If I said Fetty Wap, all y'all would be like, can you come my way? So I get back to Miami. I kid you not, I start to make big strides. Now, all the strides that I started to make was a byproduct of everything that took place in the prior 6 years. It didn't happen the way that I wanted it to, but it was still happening because I had belief and optimism in myself. So when I say being optimistic wins, it doesn't mean that I'm going to win everything I think I deserve, but it also is an opportunity for me to keep the focus and realize that the winning aspect is not necessarily of where I am right then and there, but it's where I can be. And so I have a great 2 years in Miami. I say great because that guy Popovich calling me after that. I'm sitting in the drive-thru at Rally's, and I get a phone call. Hey, Bruce, this is Greg Popovich. Just want to let you know that we really have a lot of respect for you, and we want you on our team. and we're going to have you out here real soon, see what we can do. I'm like, Tommy, stop playing, man. You hit the voice pretty good, but that's not, Pop wouldn't say nothing like that. And he just kind of was like, Bruce, it's Greg Popovich. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I look forward to it, sir. Yes. And that's how it began. It wasn't, see, sometimes people think when a group or when something takes place, it's got to be this magical thing. It's very simple in the way it happens. It's very simple just as you do your due diligence in all the things that you prepare for. It's not something grand. That's what TV makes. TV makes it grand, not the true individuals that are taking place. So for me, my goal in life was to play in the NBA and also possibly to win a championship or 2 or 3. That was my goal. I don't know what your goal is in life, but because I was so optimistic, I was able to get not 1, not 2, but 3 of these things. So my question to you is, what's going to be your thing? This was my thing. And now my next thing is about connecting with people like you who are in search of finding their things. Any way, shape, or form I can help them, that's what makes me proud now, because I'm doing, excuse me? Man, please. I know better than to say, who would like a ring? No, that was a joke, brother. That was a joke. Nah, I got y'all, my kids, these are my kids. Y'all try to steal from the kids, from the babies. But you see how simple I am? I don't bring no box. It's just an NBA sock, baby. I swear. But see, being that I do know some of the people I know, I'm going to go ahead and put it in my pocket right now. But that was my goal, championship. What is your goal going to be? And will you apply that bow tie theory to arriving to your goal? Because that's what it's ultimately about. And so I'd love to have maybe 10 minutes, if possible, if we could have a little question and answer period, because there are things that I know that I didn't necessarily go over that could possibly help in the process of you all continuing the process of having that optimism in the face of adversity, having that optimism when people are telling you no, and having that optimism in the point where you failed and now you're learning from that failure to be better. So if there's anything or anyone that'd like to ask a question here, feel free to now. Don't crowd the ladies that are going up there. There's no ladies yet. There we go. Come on, sister.
Bruce, quick question. Name's Robinson from Fort Pierce. Heard about you going to France and visiting these different locations. I'd like to know, how important would a change of environment for any one of us? How would you emphasize that in our walk to success?
Oh man, that's a great question, first and foremost, because it did allow me to appreciate the great country we live in, number one, and also to kind of adapt to another culture. I think it's important that we can respect other cultures. And because of that, I'm still very much disappointed in the fact that I didn't tour Europe more when I was there, because I had a chance to. Europe is the size of Texas, basically. And you can get to different places there. And I wish I really would have, because it was such a great learning experience. Now, I did get a chance to go see MoMA, to go to the Louvre, seeing Versailles. So I got a chance to get a little cultured, and you never know behind your experiences. When I say to certain people, oh yeah, I played in Besançon, France. I played in Loire. They're like, oh really? Sometimes they're from there, and it creates more dialogue, and you actually connect with people. And I think there's nothing better than us being able to connect with people in all that we do.
Great answer. Thank you.
Hi, I just wanted to know, did you ever give up on your dream? And if yes, how did you get back on track? How did you just motivate yourself back?
You're always going to have those moments of doubt. And that's where I say that optimism has to be in effect even more so. When you have a little doubt, you have a little doubt because you feel like you've done all you can and you still haven't accomplished that goal of what you want. So I remember it's not necessarily giving up, but it's being able to say, you know what? I'm at a certain place in life right now, and I'm okay with that. That's the thing, being okay with where you are, not because you're settling, but because you've done all you could in order to accomplish whatever it was that you were trying to accomplish. And it just didn't happen. So you live with the idea that, hey, I've tried my best, and it just didn't happen. I told my mom when I was in France, I said, you know what, Mom? Hey, I make $100,000 here, and if I can stay here for 10 years, I'll make $1 million, and I'll be happy with that. Within a month, I was in the NBA. And it's not by happenstance. I think it's because I was so secure in what I have done as far as trying to get to the NBA that when it didn't happen, I was okay with it. I was okay with where I was because I worked so hard for that. And that's when it happened. I didn't have those doubts like, well, maybe I shouldn't be playing basketball, because I think that's a waste of energy and a waste of time. I think that's when the adversary is joyful, because now you're going off of all the work you put into something. When you all look back and see all the years that you put into your schooling and into your craft, for you to just give up on it, that's unacceptable.
I'm just curious, are you in a rush, or can you stay for pictures after this?
It depends on the time, if we get through this line.
All right. Let's be quick.
Now look at
Hi, I'm Keith Marvin from University of Tampa, and I just wanted to know, at your lowest point or at one of your low points, were there any mentors or any kind of sayings that you kind of built yourself up from to kind of get yourself back into your focused goal?
I had my brother Quinn played a big role in that. I mean, he wouldn't allow me to feel sorry for myself. And I think that's key, because it's so easy for us to feel like the world is against us. It's very rare do we say, you know what, no, I just got to work harder when I get cut. It's very rare do we say things like, man, if I would have just put more time in this and less time on thinking about the outcome and how I am affected. I think those are our emotions. Our emotions play a big role in things. So when we get emotional, I think it's important to step back. Even today, when I have emotional moments, I always say, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, because I know tomorrow is going to bring a brighter day. I know tomorrow is going to bring a clean slate where I can necessarily now deal with those issues that I might be having, because in the moment, emotions are no good. And we have to recognize that within ourselves. We have to be able to recognize that I need to get to the next day. Now I have a clearer mind, and it's important the type of people you surround yourself with. I know guys who hang out with certain folks that just tell them what they want to hear each and every day. You don't need those kind of people. You need those individuals that's going to, as we say, keep it real. Oh, y'all don't say that? Okay. Those people who are going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. It's necessary in life.
Great, thank you.
Hello, Bruce. My name is Corbin Davis. I'm a student at Indian River State College. My question is...
Yeah, y'all didn't do that when I said good morning.
Well, my question is fairly simple. How did you deal with the doubters, critics, and skeptics on your path?
That was, it's motivation, but I don't think you should always use that as motivation. You hear the people like, haters allowed me to get here, because those haters, they kept hating. No, it is not something that you want to hear, something negative about yourself. So it makes you, I think, for me, it made me dig even more into my craft. Yeah. When people said I was a dirty player, who said I was? Please. Stop. Now, see, now you're going to make me go on a tangent about how these so-called professional athletes are complaining all the time. These superstars that don't like working, or like people that allow them to work. See, I got the mic. I'm always going to be right now. But as long as you know within your heart that you're doing your best and the best you can do, That's all that matters. I know that with Kobe, with Michael Jordan didn't complain. Kobe didn't complain. Vince Carter, he complained. Ray Allen, he complained. And I knew that. And so because I knew that, I would start pushing buttons. Now you're gonna make me tell another story. So we're getting ready to do jump ball. I put my hand on Ray's arm. Get your hand off me, Bruce. Like, oh, I'm sorry. See, he allowed me to know that I had control over him. You never want to allow the adversary to know that something bothers you. And so I would start there. Then around fourth quarter, I would come on there and say, time to start my plan. Do, 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 do. And I would do it again. And now he's all emotionally involved, but they needed him to take the shot. Now someone else takes the shot, all because he lost focus. So there's certain games that I used to play during that time where people would say some of the negative things that they said. But it's about honing in. I studied everybody I played against. I knew what they wanted to do. I knew that Kobe Bryant wanted that right elbow each and every time. So because I know, I'm going to shade him to the left a little bit, make him go somewhere he's not as comfortable going. Now, that doesn't mean it worked all the time, because it didn't. But that was my goal, and if it didn't work, back to the drawing board.
Thank you, Bruce.
All right.
How you doing? My name is Tanisha Mitchell. I'm with Indian River State College and University of Central Florida in a bachelor's program for graphic design.
Okay.
I'm a transit student, and I want to commend you for a great time motivating and speaking. And I'm an activist for African Americans in the foster care system and also living in poverty. And my question simple is, do you like poetry?
Do I like poetry?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like poetry?
Okay. I could probably spit something after unless you want me to do it now.
Well, I mean, you got the mic.
Okay. Black History Month, Black History Day. No, let's go back to the time before hip-hop, gold jewelry, and fashion lines. I'm talking the civil rights movement that would change the mind of how we look at each other's color and the need to shine, not only to be seen, but to be heard. Yes, we have a voice, an intellectual dialogue to make an executive choice. What it took to protest, we take for granted these days, attacked by dogs and fire hoses, refuse to be heard for what we have to say. Making our approach to Washington, we came anyway. We refuse to be ignored and segregated. One day's rise up from all opposition for our ancestors was much anticipated. Let freedom ring, but please realize that no, it wasn't free, because it took too much before we could see victory. For years we heard the word wait, grew assured we would not escape. Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream, understand what it took for it to await. For goodness sake, America, we are asleep, too busy to recap the timeline of earning equality. How about we sit at the table of brotherhood and sisterhood today, instead of making rivalries in our neighborhoods, enslaving ourselves to hate, and realize that God, He is good, because we have too much history to be misunderstood. Thank you.
All I want to say to that is that make sure in those adverse situations that you fall back on that, and that you're an advocate of those things and not just this opportunity right now. I commend you for that.
Hey, Bruce, this is Gus Chan.
Unfortunately, if we can hold off for just 1 second. Unfortunately, we've got to get Bruce to the airport because he's got to get back. He's got his kids got a couple games tonight. But as the official bank of the NBA, BBVA is really proud to partner with Bruce. He's actually one of our company spokesperson, our brand ambassadors. We have a couple San Antonio Spurs with us right now. But if you could join me in thanking Bruce for coming and sharing with us tonight.